3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Good morning, and thank you for joining us today for our exclusive Case Live virtual event. I'm Andrew Dargis, Case Construction's wheel loader product manager, and I'm excited to have the opportunity today to talk to you about the latest enhancements to the Case G-Series wheel loader lineup. Now, being someone who in the past has spent and enjoyed many Wisconsin summers from inside of a cab loading trucks all day, every day, I understand when customers tell me that when they buy a new piece of equipment, that they expect that asset to generate more production, greater uptime. And after all, it's a new piece of equipment. And if they're going to be in it all day, every day, they want it to be enjoyable to operate. Whether we're talking the cab, the controls, the visibility, all of those go to what we refer to as an improved quality of operation. And that's what we're here to talk to you about today, and how the new enhancements to the Case G-Series lineup is going to provide you more. But before we get started, I want to send it to our friend, Max Weinmiller, for a few additional comments. Max?
Thanks, Andrew. Hi, I'm Max Weinmiller, Head of Heavy Products for Case. I'm proud to be here today to represent one of the most trusted brands in the industry and to share with you the direction that we're headed. Just a few years ago, we launched the highly popular G-Series wheel loader, which we proudly build in Fargo, North Dakota, at one of our world-class manufacturing facilities. Since then, through customer feedback via dealers, trade shows, customer sites visits, and our Tomahawk, Wisconsin customer experience, we've collected a list of ideas to make the best even better. Every step in our product development process, from product definition to engineering to even the quality testing and more, demonstrate Case's dedication to delivering practical innovation alongside an intuitive experience, because that's what matters most. For those of you wondering what practical innovation means to you, it's not just a buzzword. It means we're dedicated to delivering technology that's purposeful and not just bells and whistles, and innovation that's focused on your uptime. Our goal is to make sure operating and maintenance efficiencies are built within the design. In the next 20 minutes or so, Andrew will share details on how we've redesigned our already popular G-Series to include more intuitive operating environment, which can help improve efficiency and eliminate fatigue. He'll tell you more about our fully customizable controls, our integrated payload system, and our enhanced SiteWatch telematics featuring real-time production reporting. Then Ted Pulzer, our Director of Product and Customer Support, will elaborate on the practical technology which will help streamline fleet management and support uptime via remote diagnostics capabilities. The bottom line is, we care about your bottom line, and our goal is to make sure you're reaching your maximum uptime. Thanks again for your time today, and thanks again for joining Case Live.
As I mentioned before, our goal today is to highlight how the new enhancements to the Case G-Series wheel loaders is going to help provide more production, greater uptime, and an overall improved quality of operation. Because after all, in regards to wheel loaders, those are three key elements that are critical to any operation. I want to take a couple moments though and address a couple housekeeping items. At the end of today's overview, we're going to be joined by a couple friends to help us with some question and answers. The Q&A will be live, so please submit your questions using the question field in the lower part of your screen. And also, next week, on April 28th, we will have another Case Live event that's going to give us the opportunity to go into greater detail on the improvements to the G-Series connectivity and other technology improvements to help your operation. A link to register for that Case Live event is in the chat. Please take the time and register, and I'll look forward to talking to you again on April 28th. Now let's take a couple minutes and talk about the overview of the G-Series wheel loader lineup. The G-Series wheel loader lineup was first introduced in 2016 and features 7 models, the 521 through the 1121, with horsepower ranging from 142 to 347 gross horsepower. Now there are a number of key features, really core hallmark attributes that have helped us continue to earn customer trust and gain customer loyalty. And one of those core hallmark features is what I'll refer to as our machine's power plant. You see, Case was the first OEM in the earth-moving industry to address Tier 4 emission solutions with selective catalytic reduction, or SCR, emission technology. You see, Case is able to achieve Tier 4 final emissions without a DPF. And since we don't require a DPF or diesel particulate filter, we don't require regeneration. Combine that with our FPT engines, and we have been able to deliver a more efficient solution that drives greater fuel economy, more uptime, and overall lower engine operating temperatures. But we didn't stop there. We continue the innovation to the Case Cooling Cube module. You see, none of our coolers are stacked like books on a shelf. Rather, they are positioned in a box or cube design. That design allows for cool, clean ambient air to easily flow through those coolers. And with our standard hydraulically driven programmable auto-reversing fan, that air just as easily is reversed and blown back through those coolers, taking with it dirt, dust, debris, and other particles that can contribute to clogging your coolers. That reversing fan minimizes the risk of downtime associated with cleaning clogged coolers. But there's another advantage. As we see, featured on our 5 through our 921, feature the Case exclusive mid-mount cooling module, where the Case cooling cube is positioned directly behind the cab. Positioning behind the cab not only provides even access to cleaner air, it is moved behind the cab away from the tires that is often kicking up dust. But it also improves serviceability because it allows us then to move our engine farther to the rear of the machine, lower to the ground, making it easier for operators to complete their daily service checkpoints. But again, key to any other operation is also cycle time. Speed, efficiencies help drive cycle time. We address that with options such as our transmissions. Most of our models feature a 5-speed transmission with lock-up torque converter. The 5-speed transmission allows for travel speeds up to 25 miles an hour, and the lock-up torque converter provides better performance when climbing a grade or roading. We look at our axles. Case features on our 521 through our 821 standard front and rear limited slip differentials, key for operating in any slippery, wet conditions. But of course, on all models, we also feature our auto-locking front differential and conventional or open rear when operating on hard pack or in short cycle applications. Linkages. On all models, we offer our traditional Z-bar linkage, commonly known for faster cycle times and better breakout forces. And in applications where you need higher dump height or better reach, we offer our extended reach or XR linkage. But on our 5, 6, and 721s, we also offer our tool carrier or our XT linkage that positions your cylinders in line with your loader arms, giving you an unobstructed view down to your attachment or pallet forks. And then our cab, which was a major focus when we first launched the G-Series back in 2016, focusing on improving visibility and operator comfort. We addressed forward visibility with a new, larger single curved piece of glass. We addressed rear visibility with a standard rear grid defroster and an optional integrated rear view camera. Of course, we added ergonomically designed, fully adjustable EH controls and other improvements such as Bluetooth radio, improved heated air seats, and much more. You get all of this with the peace of mind and reassurance of Case ProCare, still the industry's most comprehensive machine solution that provides factory warranty, planned maintenance, and Case Site Watch for 3 years. But how do you make the best even better? Let's talk about the new enhancements to the Case G-Series wheel loader lineup. Let's start with the new touchscreen display. Our display was already pretty powerful, but the true touchscreen capabilities of each G-Series loader makes operation and access to critical settings and operating information even easier. And it serves as the gateway to many of the new features we'll show you here today. As you dig into the new touchscreen, one of the new settings you'll see to make operation more intuitive are the new adjustable electro-hydraulic controls. These allow you to independently set lift and tilt functionality to smooth, moderate, or aggressive. This allows you to adjust boom and bucket responsiveness to the type of work you do or the comfort of the operator. Put simply, smooth setting gives you the most control and deliberate movement, such as when loading pallets of brick or block and wanting smoother operation to avoid the load from shifting. Moderate is the factory setting and provides a more standard responsiveness. And aggressive, which provides the most immediate response to the joystick operation for operators that like to move more aggressively. This setting also has a very specific action that is in high demand in some applications: fine bucket metering. Operators will be able to top off any load more accurately with this ability. These settings allow the operator to really dial in those independent movements to their preference and to what makes sense for the job and for the operator. Another improvement was the simplification of our power modes from 4 down to 2. Your new power modes: Max and Smart. Max is chosen when the operator wants to work at full throttle, while the new Smart mode delivers high performance and enhanced operating experience through improved communication between the engine and transmission. This helps achieve smoother shifting, reduced tire wear, and up to 10% fuel savings when compared to Max mode, all without sacrificing performance. Make no mistake, Smart delivers a set it and forget it type of power mode that provides you the performance you demand and the savings that you'll appreciate. Earlier, I commented that an operator, when using pallet forks, may choose to use the new smooth setting in the adjustable electro-hydraulic controls. We understand the importance and the need for fork applications. Many of you use wheel loaders pretty extensively as material handlers, with forks to load palletized material and pipe and so forth. We've now given you that parallel lift capability across our entire wheel loader lineup. Obviously, you've already naturally had it with our XT or tool carrier that provided you mechanical self-leveling, but we've now made it even more accessible, even if you prefer one of our Z-Bar or extended reach models, with the new electro-hydraulic parallel lift setting. This setting automatically maintains the angle and position of the bucket or forks. Enabling ride control in this mode further minimizes the risk of the material shifting while loading or transporting. And it's available with a simple push of the button on the membrane keypad. We've put even more power and control into the operator's fingertips with the new configurable buttons. These new buttons are located on the right-hand armrest right next to the loader control. And they allow the operator to more quickly and with minimal movement interact with pre-programmed machine settings or functions to further simplify operation. These settings are determined by the operator and can include critical functions such as the all-new payload screen, rear view camera, diff lock, D-clutch, strobe activation. These buttons also provide 3 additional configurable settings when the all-new integrated payload system is engaged. Let's transition to one of the biggest enhancements to the Case G-Series wheel loader lineup today, and that is a new factory integrated optional payload system. As we talk about the marriage of technology, connectivity, and productivity, this payload system brings all of these elements together to provide you a dynamic new tool to improve your operation. Why is this factory integrated piece so important? It's purpose-built. This is not an aftermarket solution tacked on after the purchase. It's built by Case for these loaders, which means it's purpose-built specifically for these machines and the applications they work in. Also, it simplifies the acquisition process. It comes installed with the purchase of the machine. You can finance it with the purchase of the machine, and there's no downtime for the installation after you've made your purchase. But the most important pieces of this are the benefit it provides you in your daily operation. The all-new payload system is integrated directly into the loader's primary display, and it provides bucket weight, pass counts, accumulated or running weight, job tracking data, and more for high volume loading and production applications. This allows operators to precisely load each truck to reduce over or underloaded situations by accurately weighing each bucket and cumulatively track the total weight of material loaded into each truck. It also helps operators track total loads and total volume moved over a period of time. It can also track history by customer, truck, by material, as well as provide ticket histories. It also helps play an important role in agricultural operations, where it can serve as another proof point, such as when measuring the amount of lime being applied on a field, or the amount of ingredients being applied to a feed mix. The onboard payload system drives efficiencies in loading cycles and reduces situations where operators have to top off trucks as they sit on the scale. It's a complete waste of time and work for the loader. It reduces instances where trucks have to dump material because they're overweight, or drive to a site underloaded because the operator was light with each bucket pass. It also provides a perspective into the operation of the loader to evaluate operator performance, as well as into cycle information that can help make future decisions on bucket and machine sizing for an application. The new payload system also interacts directly with the newly enhanced Case SiteWatch telematics platform to further improve total connectivity and operational intelligence. SiteWatch enables full integration with the all-new payload system to provide real-time payload reports, ticket details, and overall performance information. We're excited for you to go visit your local Case dealer and check out the system yourself, as we believe it's indicative of the type of innovation we're bringing to market. It's simple, it's easy to use, and it's delivering practical benefits to operations like yours. Now I want to visit our friend, Mr. Ted Polzer, to talk about the new connected elements of the G-Series wheel loaders. Ted is the Director of Product and Customer Support here at Case. And in that role, he has a unique and direct perspective into telematics, fleet management, and equipment support. We're going to discuss a little bit more in greater detail, and so therefore I'll pass it off to Ted.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm excited to be here today and really excited to talk to you a lot about some of the new features that the G Series is bringing to the market. We're very excited to be joining you at home for another Case Live virtual event, and especially one as important as this. These significant improvements to our Case G Series wheel loaders really have the opportunity to improve efficiencies, productivity, and fleet management for loader owners. And that's what we'll dive into here with specific focus on how we'll improve uptime. Uptime and responsiveness are primary drivers when it comes to heavy construction equipment consideration, and advances brought to the Case G Series with remote diagnostics and the ability to update software and clear codes remotely will significantly shorten any downtime events experienced by the owner or operator. This will significantly improve uptime for the machine owner and will allow the dealer to better understand the status or issue at hand, resolve the issue faster, and will save the dealer several hours in travel time and expense associated with the trips to the field that could have been simple updates that could now be done remotely in a matter of minutes. One of the ways that Case accomplishes this is through the use of the Site Connect module and the Site Manager app available for Android and Apple devices. This app allows you to pair your phone or device to the machine to enable remote analysis. Certified Case technicians then diagnose the health of each connected machine through various parameter readings and fault codes. The technician makes a determination as to whether the issue can be addressed remotely, such as clearing fault codes or updating software, or if it requires a trip to the machine. Case will also leverage the Site Connect module to further improve telematics data and performance and the collaboration between the equipment owner, dealer, and manufacturer. This enhanced connectivity allows the machine owner to share, at their discretion, real-time machine information with the dealer and the Case Uptime Center. We believe strongly in the idea of a collaborative fleet management. The ability to share more data more effectively will enhance the ability of each dealer and the Uptime Center to proactively identify issues with the machine that may require attention, and to schedule the appropriate follow-up action with the machine at a time that is convenient for the owner, or before it becomes a larger issue. And speaking of that, it's important to talk about the all-new tire pressure monitoring system that's equipped on the G Series machines. As with any truck or car, tire health and performance has a significant effect on overall performance, tire and component life, and fuel efficiency, especially when driving on underinflated tires. The all-new tire pressure monitoring system, TPMS, features individual sensors that mount to the valve stem of each tire, along with a receiver module that communicates the pressure for each tire onto the display and alerts the operator when the tire pressure is outside of that range. This has a great opportunity to both improve uptime and reduce the wear, tear, and stress put on equipment when operating on underinflated tires. These are just a few of the ways that we're using connected technologies to improve your operation and the productivity, profitability of your wheel loaders.
Thanks, Ted. And this ends the introduction and overview of the new Case G Series enhancements. All of these features have been driven by customer and dealer feedback, from the tires to the cab, to the engine and to the controls, to provide comprehensive connectivity and system improvements that will increase productivity and uptime while decreasing all of the operational elements that drag on performance and profitability. As we said at the beginning, productivity, uptime, and quality of operation, that's the Case G Series difference. Thank you again for joining us this morning. And with that, let's transition over to the Q&A.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you and welcome joining us today at this exciting Case Live event. Anytime that I get to hang out with Andrew and Ted is a good day, but I'd also like to welcome in my good friend Garrett Campbell, sales training manager here with Case Construction Equipment.
Hey, thanks, Bill. I'm excited to be here today.
And a couple anticipated questions right off the bat. No, Ted will not be taking any questions about his off-road projects. Andrew is 6'11", and wants to answer some questions about the four-corner strobes. And Garrett and I are both Virgos, but we don't let that define us. So welcome, thank you for joining us here today. A couple of housekeeping options here, things to deal with real quick. One is that you'll notice a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen here. We'll be doing a live Q&A with the folks. Some good questions have already come in. Put your questions in that Q&A box and we will answer them there throughout the day today. If we do not answer your question live today, one of these three gentlemen will follow up with you after the event today. And as Andrew mentioned, you'll notice a link in the chat today. We are having another event with Andrew and the one and only Richie Snyder next Wednesday, where we're going to dive deeper into the connectivity and technology piece of the new G-Series enhancements we're going to introduce today. Real briefly, before we get into the Q&A, I'd also like to extend a special thank you to Local 150 here in Wilmington, Illinois. Weather in the upper Midwest in April is often difficult to predict, and they gave us a nice and warm and protected from the elements place to work here today. A couple of questions, comments that have already come in from the field here. Clay Schuster says, I like the ability to adjust the controls in the operation. Mark Green says, wow, impressive. One of the first questions that came in, though, is ProCare on the G-Series as it is today the same as on the previous G-Series loaders?
Absolutely. The new G-Series machines will still provide the same reassurance that you've had with ProCare that you've come to enjoy with your current machines today.
Thank you, Andrew. A question here from Willie Vogt, who's one of our great journalists in attendance with us today here. Is the payload system available across the entire G-Series wheel loader line? Excellent question.
Yes, the optional integrated payload system is available on all 7 models, the 521 through the 1121.
And Youssef asks us a question here, and I'm just going to rephrase it a little bit. He says, what's the easiest way to add a scale on a 2020 321F wheel loader? I think the question that we want to ask here is this payload system retrofittable on previous case wheel loaders?
That's a great question. The payload system is only available on the enhanced G series, but there are many aftermarket solutions out there for the previous models as well.
Andrew, I put this into the universe and it happened. Ken McMahon is asking, will there be an option to order the 4-corner strobes with an option for blue and amber? This is a requirement in many DOTs for snow clearing. This could require in-cab selectable light color options. Is that something we're thinking about?
It's a good question. It has come up a number of times, and as far as working with other customers for a similar solution. At this point in time, the amber lenses is what's available from the factory, but you still have the mounting provisions for an LED beacon. And so oftentimes if you want to run with the blue beacon for when plowing snow, or if you choose to change out the color of the lenses on your own.
Is there a limit to the amount of customer and truck data that can be stored in the payload system?
Yeah, so that's a great question. The payload system has the capability of storing up to 500 customers, 1,000 trucks, and 50 different materials. It also has the ability to hold up to 200 tickets. And as you continue to load, you're going to see those new tickets populate.
Another one of our great industry journalists, Greg Sytek, has chimed in. What machines is the tire monitoring system available on?
The new optional tire pressure monitoring system, or oftentimes referred to as TPMS, is another option that's available on all 7 models, the 521 through the 1121.
Another a question that has come in here from a viewer in Alberta. Are all of these enhancements standard?
I'm waiting for somebody to ask Ted a question. Most of these enhancements are standard. When we talk about the new touchscreen display, the configurable buttons, the Site Connect module and so forth. What we referred to just now recently, the fully integrated optional payload system and the new tire pressure monitoring system are the two new options that are associated with this launch. All the other features would be standard.
And another question here coming in from the field. If I were to put the new Site Connect module that Ted mentioned earlier in an older wheel loader, would I get any of this new functionality?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So the current enhanced G series that we're talking about today has an updated infrastructure that's designed to work with that module so that we get two-way communication. Okay, with an existing machine, chances are it probably already has an AM53 modem. Those units will communicate one directionally, and that's their infrastructure and how they were designed. So retrofittable, no, not necessarily, but the AM53 still gives a lot of data out there to your dealer and others to be able to help you understand what's happening with that machine. Is it a healthy machine, or what are the details associated with an opportunity that the service department needs to be involved in?
Thank you, Ted. And I can already tell we're getting more questions at one of these Case Live events than we've ever had before. Some of these we won't be able to get to during the broadcast today, but we will definitely follow up with you after the event. The next question that has come in, can I get the new touchscreen display on an existing G-Series wheel loader that they might already own?
The new touchscreen display is only available in the new machines. And as we mentioned, we've got our current machines are already provided with a very similar looking one, but it only has the push buttons, and they are not retrofittable.
And if I buy a 621G with these enhancements without the payload, can I add it after, and is that difficult?
Yeah, I can actually take that. Yeah, the payload system is going to be available to be installed after from your dealer. So that is not something that you have to purchase right away. That can be put on later so that you can continue to get that great efficiency with the payload system.
Question here from the field. Can you comment on any of the features of the touchscreen display? Is there an operations manual in it, security functionality, any further adjustments within the display?
Thanks, Bill. That's a great question. So there are some really great features with the touchscreen. The first one was the operator's manual. There's the ability to load the operator's manual, and it's going to come from the factory. The big thing about that is that it's going to be searchable. So you can go in there, put in the functions that you're looking for, and find it right away, and you're not flipping through a paper manual looking for things. But yeah, there's security features as well, so you can program it to have security codes to protect your investment.
We've got a question in here about one of the old school G-Series features, and even dating back to our F-Series loaders. How do you achieve Tier 4 final without a DPF?
Yeah, that's a question that I'll take. Really, when you take a look at the U.S. government standards for emissions, the current machines with the Tier 4B technology that we have on there meets that standard. So without having to add other, complexities to the machine, we're going to be running the same solution that we've used since 2016, which has been a tried and true solution for us.
And a question in here has come about the tire pressure monitoring system. Will the TPMS work when the sensor mounted on the valve tire is covered in mud, dirt, or manure?
I can take that one as well. So the way that these work is there's a radio signal that's sent from the transducers that are mounted on the wheel stems, and it goes up to a module in the cab. Now, obviously, we understand for the applications that are out there, there is going to be dirt and debris that will pack in there on a daily basis. It is something that you wanted to monitor and try to clean on a daily basis. Obviously, a lot of material packed in there does decrease that strength of that signal a little bit, but they're designed with it in mind that there is going to be some debris that's always going to be there, right? It's just kind of the application of these types of machines.
Another question here has come in related to the diagnostics piece of this. Is the diagnostics system available for the owner to clear fault codes, or only the dealer in case? Maybe we describe a little bit about how the remote diagnostics works with the new setup.
Right. Yeah, so the way that the machine works is if there is some sort of an opportunity or an issue with the machine, that information gets set up to a cloud. We basically take all of our service repair information, we group it together into a prescription, and we send that to the dealer instantaneously when you as a customer have that situation occur. Now, you can still see that in SiteWatch as a customer. As far as removing or clearing the codes, it actually does take an electronic service tool. And this is actually a large topic that's out there on right to repair. Our dealers do offer ESTs. It's something that you need to work with them on to understand what it is specifically that you're after. And they can kind of guide you through that path.
Thank you, Ted. Another question that has come in, can I run all of the same attachments and buckets on these new models as I can on my existing G-Series loader?
Absolutely. No changes have been made to the mounting provision. So the same buckets, attachments that you're using today on your current G-Series will mount up to the new G-Series as well.
And another question here, this relates to the configurable buttons. What do the colors mean?
So the colors are really designed to help make a quick visual on what that is. So as you set those, that configurable button, it correlates to those 3 configurable icons that are on the corner of your display as well. So that you know that if I press that yellow button and I press it on the display, they both do the same thing and those same functions that you're looking for to customize your machine.
If I walk onto a dealer lot now, how do I tell the difference between one of the old G-Series loaders and one of the new ones?
I can take that one. One of the easiest ways to identify it is that most machines are going to have this window cling that are going to talk about Site Connect. There are other features. Probably the easiest way is to climb up in the cab, take a look at it, the inside of the machine. When you start to see the configurable buttons and the touchscreen display in there, that's a dead giveaway that this is the latest G-Series machine.
Another question here coming in from the field. Do I set the tire PSI levels, or are those standard from the factory?
I can take that one as well. So the tire pressures we set at a standard level, basically, you know, what the tire manufacturer recommends. When the machine gets moved to the dealer, if you have special requirements for tire pressure based on your application, something that you should speak to your dealer about. The interesting thing about the new G-Series is that if you do need to run a different type of tire pressure based on the tires that you have, the point that we have with the touchscreen display is you can actually adjust the threshold and when you would get alerts, right? Kind of like that annoying automotive thing where the dinger is always on and you can't adjust it. These machines, you can adjust that threshold, and it's very helpful. So that way, you know, accurately when that alarm goes off, you do have a serious issue that needs to be checked.
Thank you, Ted. Another question here from the audience. Where can I get the Site Manager app that you talked about?
Yeah, I can actually take care of that one. So one of the ways that you can get it is you can go on the App Store or you can go on the Google Play Store and search Case Site Manager. Also, when you get the new G-Series wheel loader and you open up your operator's manual, there's going to be a QR code in the operator's manual for your respective phone. Open your camera app, take a picture, and it's going to take you right to the store that you can download that to your phone.
Speaking of downloading, or I guess uploading in this case, someone wants to know if they can upload music into the new display.
I can take that one. The new display doesn't work with MP4s or MP3s to upload music or video files, but it does allow you to upload PDFs. Similar to uploading that operator's manual that you can search, you can upload other things such as quick start guides or other files that you might want your operators to see and have in there to quickly access.
An easy question that has come in here. How do I find a Case dealer near me? If you go to casece.com, in the upper toolbar, you'll see a find a local dealer there. That will take care of that. Let's see here. We've got a couple of questions from people that are asking about timing and availability. These are the loaders that are rolling off the line in Fargo right now, right?
Correct. They're currently being built right now.
Okay. And any changes, there's a couple questions here I'm going to combine into one. Any changes structurally or to the frame of the machine?
I'm not aware of any structural changes. A lot of the changes are really made to be enhancing operator comfort and operator efficiency through the power modes, the configurable buttons, and the new touchscreen display. But as far as frame and chassis, we're not aware of any changes.
No.
Yeah, and I would agree. It's mostly electrical infrastructure that's been updated in the unit.
Excellent. This one, we're not going to talk about other machines in this broadcast here today, but I'll rephrase this question then. What is it that makes our cooling cube design different than others?
Well, as we mentioned earlier today, on the 5 through the 921, the Case cooling cube module is positioned right behind the cab, as we see over here. And the nice thing instead of others, we're pulling it away from the rear of the machine and position it then directly behind the cab, gives it access to much cleaner air, because oftentimes when operating, you get all the dust getting kicked up and that would possibly be sucked up in the coolers that are at the very back of the machine. So better access to cleaner air, keeping them clean, and of course with the reversible fan as well.
And as the resident service guy, I always love to talk about the cooling module because it also allows us to move the engine further back and lower in the chassis, gives us better visibility for one. But if you've ever seen us open the hood on one of these machines, the serviceability is incredible. So if it's not something that you've witnessed firsthand, pop by a Case dealer, have them open up the hood on a G-Series and take a look at that. It's really impressive.
We've had a couple of questions here from the group, and if you've been following Andrew on LinkedIn, you know that he's been all around the country lately, Idaho, Kansas, Minnesota. A question here about just general feedback so far from people who've tested some of these new enhancements. What are some of the things that we're hearing from people who are seeing these out in the field?
You know, the praise has been wonderful, and we've been working, of course, with our validation group in Fargo. We've had these machines working with customers for several months now. We're thrilled as far as with the enhancements, the adjustability of the controls, the versatility across multiple applications and the size of operators. So we couldn't be more excited right now to get these machines out of Fargo and into our dealer lots.
We got a question here about the payload system and how it integrates with other reporting tools. Will the payload data and performance data integrate with customers' business systems? Maybe cover off again on how that integrates with SiteWatch telematics and how people access information on the payload system.
Yeah,
sure. Go ahead.
I'll take that one, Andrew. Yeah, so with ProCare, you get a 3-year advanced subscription with SiteWatch, and that lets you monitor data, you know, such as your fault codes, your utilization, and things like that. But now with the new integrated payload system, you're going to be able to monitor the payload output at a very granular level. You can see it from a sky-high view all the way down to how many loads that truck had and how much was weighed into that truck. So that's something that you as a customer are going to be able to go in and see for up to 18 months, all the way back. You can't do it all at once. You're going to want to search. But yeah, 18 months of data is going to be stored in SiteWatch for you to look at your business and see how that system is helping you and making your operation more efficient.
You said early on that you have 7 models. Can you tell us more about the largest machines in your offering for sand and gravel applications?
Well, 2 larger models that would, well, this is the 921. We then also feature our 1021 and our 1121. The 1121, as mentioned, goes up to 347 horsepower. You're looking at, I mean, typically those would be the ones that are most commonly used in pits and pits and gravels. Bucket size ranges over 6 yards with a lot of other different options as well.
Another question here, hearkening back to an old school comparison. What are the major differences between the G series and the F series wheel loader? So that's looking back at our previous line.
That's my wheelhouse.
There you go.
I launched
Take it,
this in
Andrew.
2016.
How much time do we got, Bill?
A couple more minutes.
So real quick, when we went from the F series to the G series, that did first and foremost make the big transition where all of our whole lineup became Tier 4 final with our SCR solution. And then it was all the improvements for the quality of operations, the improvements to the HVAC, the cab, the visibility, integrated the new monitor at that time, integrated rear view camera. The introductions, that was our first big step into new technology in the cab with Bluetooth radios and everything really focused on around the operator and the focus and understanding that a comfortable operator is a more efficient operator. Give them more adjustable ergonomic controls and keep them in a comfortable environment. Because again, you're loading trucks all day, every day. It's their office in the field. And that was our big advancements. And this is just a follow-up to that big launch from 2016.
And a follow-up question to what we talked about a little bit earlier, is the payload info downloadable to computer files for tracking records?
Oh, yes, you can export it into Excel.
Yes.
Easy question. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to an end of our exclusive Case G Series Enhancement Case Live event. Andrew, thank you. Ted, thank you. Garrett, thank you. Again, we will be following up with the questions that we didn't answer here. There's just a few here that will require attention from these guys after the event. And a reminder again, we will be coming to you again live next week with Andrew and Richie Snyder, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central, to talk more about the connectivity and technology features available in the newly enhanced G-Series wheel loaders and what that means for your operation. Thank you so much for your time today. If you visit the Case website, you'll see all the information and news on the new launch, as well as individual videos on many of the new features that you saw featured here today. Thank you for your time. On behalf of Case, thank you so much, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks.